This is Breck Palumbo. This video is from Mabuo, who is a client of DistressPro.com, and I was asking about how to get lists of banks. So I want to just walk over the front page here with you for a minute. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see it's U.S. banks ranked by total assets. Now these are banks. This is the total assets at the bank, okay? And it's not. This includes all their deposits. This is all of their assets. This is just a quick bank ranking to look at, and that's not really what we want to pay attention to. What we do want to pay attention to is most of the time you're going to be looking for banks that have REO, like here's commercial REO, or you're going to be looking for banks with late non-performing loans. If I come over to the right side column, there's this number of banks. If I click on any of these, for any of these categories, it's the type of asset, the total dollar volume of the asset, and the number of banks contributing to that total. So there's 3,812 banks that together have $10,538,000,000 and change in commercial REO. If I click on this, now I have a list of those banks. I'm only showing the first 500, okay, which should be enough for you. Most states don't have 500 banks, and you'll see that the way this first comes out is it's sorted by bank alphabetically. Starts with the numbers, goes to the letters. Well, that's not as useful as if I wanted to click over here, and now I've clicked it twice, and I've got the most commercial REO at the top sorted down to the least. I can expand this if I want to see a bigger list. Now I'm looking at 100 of these, and if I want to get more details on any of these banks, I can click on the individual bank record. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go back just one more time, and I want to show you how to do that also with notes. So if I'm looking at residential notes, and I'm looking at banks that I want to know. Let's say I go to, let's narrow this down, and we'll go to a state, and we'll go to Georgia, okay? So there's 238 banks in Georgia. There are 168 banks with commercial REO and so forth down the line. Come over here, let's go residential. So here there's 194 banks that have $1,900,000,000 in non-performing, non-accrual residential loans that are first position loans. These 194 banks have this volume these are banks that are located, that are headquartered in Georgia. Okay, so if I click on this 194, now I've got a list of all the banks headquartered in Georgia that have non-performing residential first position loans. Again, it comes up sorted alphabetically. I can change that just by clicking this right here. I've clicked it twice, click it again, now it's the least to the most. I click it again, now it's the most to the least. If I want to see a bigger section, I can go like that. Or if I want smaller, fewer, I can do that. If I'm looking for banks that are in a particular town, I can, there's Atlanta, or there's different things that we can do here. So play around with it, and I hope that that helps.